Hi everyone, welcome to Sage's Garage. We are back today at RT Automotive and we are working on the Spitfire. Now, before we can do anything today, we all collectively have to give a big shout out to Rick because that's the only reason I'm working on the engine today. Rick is also getting his engine worked on here at RT Automotive. I believe it's a Jaguar, very, very cool. And today was actually his scheduled day to get work on his engine done, but he was so kind to let me have this day and keep working on the engine. We are getting so close to getting it done. So everyone needs to comment, thank you, Rick. And also thank you, Dan, because he's been so helpful getting this engine together and we're almost there and it's so exciting. So I just had to give that little shout out before we even got started. Yesterday we left off, we put the camshaft in, we also put on the front plate and we started thinking about doing some of the timing stuff, which is where we're gonna jump back in today. We are going to get all the timing stuff done. We've got the gears, I've got a new timing chain, and so we're gonna put all that stuff on there. Then we're gonna move on and do oil pan, oil pump, all that good stuff. And once all that is wrapped up, our next big step will be putting on the cylinder head. We'll see how much of that we get to today, but let's just jump right in and get started. Also, I wanted to mention, yes, my shirt is covered in paint. I figured that since I'm gonna be working on the engine getting dirty, I might as well wear a shirt that already has some stains. So just ignore the paint that's on my shirt. Thanks. All right, so we're starting with the timing stuff, and I wanted to show you guys something really odd and interesting that we noticed. So as you can see here on the gear, we've got the two markings here, and we made sure everything was lined up. We made sure the camshaft was in the correct position, and all is good. But we have another one, and the markings are completely opposite. So the bottom one is in the right position, but this second one here is on the complete wrong side. So anyways, I just want to show you that that is super duper odd. If we flipped it, it would be correct, but then you wouldn't see the markings. So definitely a little bit weird. So next what we're going to do is we're going to put on the sprocket here, and we're going to first, before we put the timing chain on, because it's a new one and we want to make sure it stays nice and tight, we're gonna make sure that these are parallel and they're on the same plane. So I have one of the packing washers here. I have three altogether, but since all the clearances are different, we're just gonna start with the one packing washer and hope that it's all lined up, and then we can put in the woodruff key and the timing chain.
It looks like there's a bit of a gap here. We'll try with none and see if it looks better.
Where are we seeing a gap?
Right along this. It's almost perfect. So it might be okay like this, or it might be better with...
I don't see a difference. Oh, I see it now. Interesting. So this is 3 shims, so that is the wrong answer. Then this is none. So definitely a difference. All right, I've got my new chain assembled here, and I'm gonna try and pop this on. I'm gonna line up where the woodruff key would be. Gonna slide it on. And boom, that sprocket is all the way in. This lines up with the bolt holes on the camshaft, and now it's ready to be bolted on. I'm just gonna go ahead and hand tighten these guys. And I've also ensured that our little markings are in the correct spot.
So that's good.
Okay. It's gold now, cute. So we double and triple checked the timing, and we made sure that everything was aligned and that the camshaft was in the right position. What we're gonna do is we're gonna rotate the crankshaft twice, and then we're gonna double check that it's all still in the same position. Oh, I see pistons moving. It's like crazy. It's like actually a working machine. All right. That looks great to me from this angle. Hooray. So we're just torquing these guys to 24. I'm gonna go ahead and bend these up so that the bolt doesn't unscrew itself ever. Oh my goodness. Let me see the other side, it's easier. Oh my god, how do these bend? I'm gonna start putting on the timing cover. So first up is the gasket. I'm gonna line it up with the dowels. Okay, it's in the correct spot. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put the cover. And I've got the tensioner here. Just making sure it goes on the correct side of the chain. Let's see how this goes. Oh, thank you. Okay, that one's lined up and that one is lined up. Now I've just got to put in the screws and the bolts. And I actually have a proper diagram here from my Haynes manual, but which ones need to be screws and which ones need to be bolts. So we're just loosely putting in all the bolts and screws in the right places, and I've got some sealant on the screws, so I'm just gonna hand tighten them into the correct placement. And they also all have washers. I'm gonna start torquing these bolts and screws, and I have them set to 12 foot-pounds. I've got the crankshaft pulley and we're ready to put it on. We have the marking here and I can see the little slot where the woodruff key is to go. So I'm just going to gently see how far I can get it by hand and then see if I need assistance from some tools, which I'm gonna go with yes. And just gently around the edges or in the middle?
In the middle.
You guys are zoomed out now. We brought out the big tools. I have lots of helping hands. Let's do this.
That's good.
Yay! All right, now I've got our arch nemesis, this crankshaft nut. If you know, you know. This took us literally 6 months to get off. It was treacherous, but we got it off, but now we have to put it back on. So we're probably gonna paint it, but that's not gonna be today. So for now, we're just gonna tighten it enough to hold everything together. And then once it's in the car, we're gonna torque it to 150, but that'll be easier to do again once it's in the car. So we'll just make sure it's on very, very tight, but we're not gonna torque it today. Now we're popping this oil plug into the engine. Now we're just popping in the galley plugs. Next, we're popping in the oil pressure switch. And next is the oil pressure relief valve. Now we're just torquing all of these to 15. I forgot to mention before we put the oil filter on, we just took it off to make that easier, but now I'm just popping it back on. We're torquing this one as well. Now we've got the engine flipped over and we're gonna work on putting in the oil pump. So right now we're just putting some assembly lube on it to make sure that nothing gets stuck or caught up when we first start it up, but we are gonna pre-oil it before we actually start the engine. It's all ready to go. We're gonna pop it in. All right, and now we're popping that filter on, and obviously it is very clean and ready to go in. We put a very, very, very faint little layer of copper spray gasket just on this side of the filter, just to make sure that it doesn't want to suck air when it's trying to get the oil, and it gets the oil instead. We've got some Loctite on these bolts, and now we're just going to pop them in. Now we're torquing these to 8 foot-pounds. All right, well, it's looking pretty great. There are so many new additions we added on today, but that is going to be the end of today's video. I will be back here tomorrow working on it even more, so lots and lots of progress is happening. But yeah, we got loads done today. Tomorrow, I think we're gonna start by putting on the sump, and then we will move on from there. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I hope you're just as excited as me that this project is really moving forward. And I hope that some of you will get to see it in person soon. I'll see you next time. Bye.